every day and night.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's Leonard. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! Warning. This episode contains some audio and or video glitches. It was not your equipment. Hello, everybody. I just wanted to let you know this brief intro. I'm going to double up 2 a week for the rest of January to get caught up on a few interviews I've recorded lately. They're kind of piling up. They're going a little too far in the future. I don't want to keep people waiting that long. So for the rest of January, I'll do 2 during the week rather than 1 midweek drop on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Thursday, the rest of January. Anyway, let's get some guests on, as Graham Norton currently says, and I'm borrowing. Joining me today is... I didn't ask you before I hit record. Is the proper pronunciation Chantal? Are you there?
That works for me.
Okay, Chantal Deyoe. Yes?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, I think
yes, very good. Very good.
Had this problem yesterday with an interview too. I think Zoom was acting up a little. There was a delay, a lag in the connection yesterday too. So pardon people, that may be happening again. But I had a Chantal, not a Chantal, a Chantal, Lefevre, Lafont. I forget her last name. On in 2023, a Valentine episode. You're not here to talk romance and Valentine's Day and all that. Your bio says faith is the foundation of your writing, how people come to it, struggle with it, accept or reject it. So yes, let's talk about all that. But first, where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Some significant places you've been between those times. You know, that kind of nitty gritty.
My husband and I now live in North Fairfield, Ohio. We've been here since the year 2000. We have a little homestead here with some animals and a garden and all kinds of good stuff like that. Our boys are grown, so it's just us now. And in between times, I don't right here from home. I love it, love it, love it. So yeah, that's kind of where I've been.
Sounds good. There's again a little freezing going on in there, but for the most part, I think people will have got it. And I will throw up a warning. Audio and video issues in this happens from time to time episode. Again, I don't know what's going on with Zoom, but didn't have problems before. At any rate, so indeed, faith
Right.
Foundation
Right.
of your writing, and you know, people come to it, struggle with it, accept or reject it. What was, being a Christian show, pun definitely intended, the genesis, of that thought?
My kids are grown, as I mentioned, and I've only just started writing and publishing, but it's been a goal all my life. And I think part of that was, growing up and maturing, but I wanted it to be a means of having a conversation with people about faith, because story is something that people relate to. And, what people go to in a story, it can really resonate with people. And that's what I've heard. That's a lot of the response I've had. Building faith into what I write, it's a soft and gentle introduction for some people, and it's a way for others to grow and learn in their faith and maybe consider aspects of it that they haven't before. And My goal is to show it real, not but real.
Not what, there was a pause, not what but real, not fake or not forced or not, what were you saying? There was a gap there.
Not,
Oh,
yeah, not shallow.
oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, not
Yeah, it's
shallow.
froze
Not
again, but
shallow.
we got it out now. Again, apologize, people, for the audio video issues. I, you don't know it, but behind the scenes, Zoom literally crashed the minute we were to start the interview. I had to recycle Zoom. Thank goodness it did it before we started. Hopefully, right, knock on wood, I'm hitting my hollow head. It won't happen during the interview. So, and I'm myself being a Christian
Right.
author, the same thing. But my concern a lot of times, like with movies, I love the Christian movies we're getting these days. Like one of my favorite Christian movies is the second or the resurrection of Gavin Stone. It's a comedy. People, we can have a sense of humor. We don't need to be the, proverbial, but I'm bum again. Christian show, pun intended, proverbial beat people over the head with the Bible and saying, why won't this sink into your head? You don't get anything with that approach normally. A softer, kinder, gentler, more subtle way. And people, freak out. Oh my God, resurrection of a human. You can't. It's a figurative, spiritual resurrection, people, not a literal resurrection like with Christ in the resurrection of Gavin Stone. Great movie. I highly recommend it. Like with my books, I try to scale back the preachy, overburdening, Bible thumping stuff. What's your approach to sharing the message?
I see things like that movie that you're talking about, or my books as being a gateway to a conversation with people. It's not the gospel. It's not the presentation of the gospel. It's designed to help people have questions, ask questions, and have a conversation with me or somebody else. And I have to be open to that and willing to hear their concerns and their questions and what they want to talk about, because it's through relationship that we come to know who Christ is as he shines through our lives. Now, in my books, I do have, I have several Christian characters, and among themselves, they have those very direct conversations. But when they're talking with other people who are not Christians, their conversation sounds different because they're trying to meet them where they are.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every life is a story. Some just end too soon. Ryan's life unfolds through words on paper, dreams of youth, love discovered, and the challenges of growing up. He found purpose in love, joy in family, and meaning in every small moment. But even the strongest hearts can break, and sometimes life takes unexpected turns. Through laughter and loss, Ryan leaves behind something greater than memories, a lasting legacy. A short story, A Lasting Legacy, by Joseph M. Leonard. A moving reflection on life, love, and the stories we leave behind. Available on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardcover editions. By Joseph M. Leonard.
Oh, amen. There's the phrase, meet people where they are. Don't assume, try to meet them where they're at in their journey. Nowhere, just starting, part way there, or think they're full of sin of hubris, think they've got the Bible memorized front to back, and they can parrot it, but they don't seem to understand it.
Yes.
So, yes, your approach has to be slightly different with each of the parties, and yours kind of like my my books try to be both for Christians that can enjoy, but also too, the Book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem, like here's the hardcover copy of that, different covers for each version or edition. But I want an atheist to be able to read it also and understand you don't have to be a person of faith to understand kind of the philosophy and psychology and human nature of karma. And I often repeat Rick Springfield's song called Karma from his Karma album, in which he says, every little bit of love I give to another, you know what I believe? It comes back to me. Putting out good, you're more likely to get good back. Putting out bad or being a mean SOB all the time, don't be surprised if bad things come back your way, right? You don't have to be religious to accept the karma concept. Yes?
We can call it what we want. You can call it karma, or you can just, talk about, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the same kind of idea. And I can say this, if I approached you with anger and negativity, you're going to be like, yeah, let's shut this down right now. I don't want to talk to this person, But if you and I can have a little fun together, we're going to have a nice conversation.
Amen. That's the other thing. I have a piece at the Liberty Beacon, need to keep a sense of humor. And what I said about the Resurrection of Gavin Stone film. There's another great one, Mom's Night Out with Trace Adkins. The Christmas pageant that just came out last year. Great, fun, funny film. Keep us, things are so serious in this fallen world. We've got to keep a sense of humor. Sounds absolutely like you're on the same page with me. Again, authors, pun intended, same page, right? Same page as me with that, yes?
Yeah. If God had not created joy and laughter and a sense of humor, we wouldn't have it. And the very fact that that is a human trait that is shared across the board, it's just, as a Christian, I believe that God created that for us to enjoy this gift of life that he gave us. And so, if humor is one way that we can reach others for him, for his kingdom, then all the better.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. And I wasn't planning on asking this, but I don't script shows. I didn't research much about you not because I'm lazy, but because I want my shows to be natural flows, and whatever rabbit holes open, whatever pops into my OCD brain at the time is where we'll go, right? I am learning about you just as the audience learns about you as we go. That to me is honest and natural that way. But I forgot where I was going to go with that. I just completely caused my brain to go off the rails there.
That's all right. Maybe it'll come back to you.
Yeah. We were talking about humor and, maybe it'll come back to me. But, it's gone now.
That's all right.
Hey, no pretense here. I'm human. I'm frail. I'm flawed like everybody else, right?
Same. Yeah.
This is raw. You get me and the guests the way we are. No airs, no pretense, no pompous. Indeed, though, we're talking about being positive or being negative. I coined the term mass holes. That I go into that in the Book of Kennedy, right? People who are miserable and they want to spread their misery. Like, I don't get that. So we need to try to tell people to understand everyone's entitled to a bad day. right? If you're having of the negativity thing, right? If you're hostile to me, then yeah, I'm likely to be hostile back. Well, if you're a masshole and you're always miserable and always negative, again, it's the karma thing. Why would you be surprised if you get all that back all the time? And our point is being, at least while we're all entitled to bad days, remember Martin Luther King Jr., content of one's character, that may not be who they are. They may be having a bad day. That's why we as Christians believe in second chances and that. To remember that and try to, even when we're not feeling it, fake and force a smile. Try to be nice. Try to put more nicety in this fallen world. Yes?
Yeah, and I think when you are, and we have a lot more contact with way more people nowadays through social media, through video conversations like this. And so we run into people who are in all different points in their lives. And, I have somebody who's fairly close to me that struggles with negativity. But this is a person who's very important in my life. And so over the decades, and I do mean decades, I have worked at how do I preserve this relationship because it's important to me in spite of that difficulty. And it has not always been easy, and I have not always been successful, but I have never given up. And sometimes it's a matter of taking a moment to try to focus on what's really important to talk about here. Can I let some things go? Do I need to address some things? Sometimes we do need to address some things. Sometimes we don't. And trying to discern when it's the one and when it's the other can be kind of hard, but I think it's something that's important to continue to try. And also, I'd like to say, in other circumstances where these aren't people who are part of your life, on social media, for example, I think we need to let a whole lot more go than we do. And just because there are people who are having a bad day, as you said.
Not having such thin skin and snowflakism. Oh, I'm offended by everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I need a safe space. Please, people. So I'm glad you said that and are saying this. And what comes to my OCD mind is, remember, what part are we playing? What self-reflection? I have a listener feedback show on that. Our need to self-reflect, right? Remember, when pointing the finger, how many of your own are pointing right back at you? And I mentioned the Springfield song. The Michael Jackson tune comes to mind too. Man or woman, not to be genderist or sexist here, in the mirror, right? I'm looking at the man in the mirror and I'm asking him, me, myself, to change my ways. What can we do better?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Joseph M. Leonard, host of Constitutionals, taking a brief moment to thank myarchic.com. Together we share the Christian and family value of honoring family. myarchic.com helps you do that. Preserving family memories online also therefore can be shared online. Think of myarchic like a Noah's Ark for images, audio, video, preserving, honoring your family. Thank you again to the folks over at myarchic.com.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, going back to that, like the people that you come in contact with there, what can we do better? We can address the issues and overlook, the behavior, because like you said, sometimes somebody might be having a bad day, but other times people are just agitating. And
mass holes.
Yeah. And so you have to just let that go. And, if it's a place where you need to be engaging, engage maturely and respectfully and wisely and deal with the issue that you're talking about and leave the rest of it go. And if you can't, walk away.
I go into that in my book, right? Some people make it so hard for you to love them.
Yes.
And loving them doesn't always mean being able to deal with them. Sometimes loving them from afar
Yeah.
is the best thing, right?
Oh,
Hope
it
for
is.
them, pray for them, but no, I can't be in your orbit. You're bad for my mental and physical health, right? Indeed, those you kind of alluded, right? Do I have, there are some people you have to interact with. Do I have to? Do I need to? Or is this, I want to, like the case you gave of the relationship, you want to maintain it even though it's difficult, versus those, I don't need this in my life. I'm just moving on to others. I can make an impact in my and their lives. Yes?
Yeah, and when you think about Jesus and his time on earth, what did he do? He preached the gospel to everyone and he spoke difficult words when he needed to, but he did not run after people and beg them to follow him. He offered that invitation, he gave them the truth, and then it was up to them to decide.
Very important point and distinction. And I talk about it all the time on this show. The Bible in full context, not just the kumbaya singing around the campfire, Jesus, oh, love and honey and roses and love. No, the tough love parts of the Bible matter more in many cases than the love parts. And Matthew 23 types, as Jesus spoke to then as now, vipers, snakes, blind guides, who just want the, oh, think kumbaya, Jesus. You're not serving yourself nor anyone else well by not dealing in the tough love parts we all need to hear. Trying to cut those out. You're a fake Christian if you do that. Yes?
Without that hard truth of why we need Christ, we don't have any reason to need Christ. We have to understand that we are sinners in need of a savior, and he is that savior. And if we don't understand the justice, that balances out that love or that joins with that love, then why would we even need to go there? And why did he even bother dying on the cross if we don't need that from him?
Well, I'm glad you said that. Again, just the way my OCD brain works. Nothing you said led me to this other than, well, whatever it is you said kind of triggered this thought. The anti-Semitic, Jesus dying on the cross, the final blood sacrifice, which eliminated the animal sacrifice of the Old Testament. But Matthew 5:17, I have come to fulfill the scriptures and the prophecy, not eliminate and supplant it. Jesus didn't erase the entire Old Testament. That's why it's part of our Bibles, the Torah and the New Testament. Yeah, like turn the other cheek is supposed to be applied as best we can over an eye for an eye, but an eye for an eye wasn't erased. If turn the other cheek did not say, Jesus did not say, always be a sucker. People who want to abuse you, just let them abuse you over and over and over. No, he didn't say that. That's the context of the whole and full Bible, which leads me to the point, anti-Semitics, right? Anti-Semites. Jesus born a Jew. Jesus raised a Jew. Jesus fulfilled the Jewish scriptures. King of the Jews. We began as official ministry at 30 under Judean rabbinic law, right? So to blame Jews for Jesus' death is stupid. To blame God because it was God's plan. It was God's will. Those few Jews who did put up Jesus to Pontius Pilate, just like Judas, were required to do so as part of God's plan. Otherwise, Jesus wouldn't have been that final blood sacrifice for us. Yes?
Yeah, as Jesus himself said, if I had chosen to, I could have called down, 10,000 legions of angels or whatever and saved myself. And, he prayed in the garden, Father, if it be thy will, release me from this, but not my will, yours, because he knew it needed to be done. He knew it did. And I wanted to say something about the Old Testament you mentioned. We have a Bible study, weekly Bible study, and a lesson that we just recently went through made the point for us that in the Old Testament, all the furniture was there, everything we needed. But when we got to the New Testament, the lights were turned on in the room and we could understand and see it better. It was all there in the Old Testament, but the New Testament is what brought light and understanding for us.
You're triggering me in a good way, not in the emotional, hysterical snowflake way, but yeah, you trigger right. Better. You said better. The New Testament did not give us all the answers, and that's part of the sin of hubris. It drives me crazy when people say, well, exclusion does not preclusion, or preclusion does not mean exclusion. I still haven't figured out the best way to say that. But just because Jesus or God doesn't tell us something in the Bible doesn't mean it's not possible. Like alien life. What are the Nephilim are humanoid but non-human creatures that were on the planet. Genesis tells us that, but yet God doesn't owe us all the answers. Genesis does not say, and God created life on earth, only on earth life created he. Doesn't say that. God does not owe us every answer to what questions we may or may have. So not saying, there are ant people, there are bird people, there are gray aliens. Not saying it doesn't mean it's not possible. It's just that we didn't need to know. It's above our pay grade, right? Sort of thing. So when Jesus returns, we may be told and learn more. We are all but children, right? You don't hand a 6-year-old War and Peace. You give them a Dr. Seuss book. And I know people get upset with me when I say it, but sorry, not sorry. The Bible is a Dr. Seuss book for us children.
Yeah. So many times, like even when we're studying, we say, we always want to know the rest of the story. We want to know more of what happened, but God in his wisdom gave us what we needed to have in order to know him, to have eternity with him. And so many of us say, when I get to heaven, I am going to have so many questions. And he made it that way. He made us to be curious. He made us to love. And but
I won't get past St. Peter at the gate. I'll be chewing his ear off. I got questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other thing was when Jesus also said from the cross, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. That was referring exactly to that. These people had to put me up for death. They're playing a part, whether they know it or not. Forgive them. They really don't know what they're doing, but it's part of God's plan and they needed to do it. Yes?
Yeah, that's right. And the same with Judas, and you go back into the Old Testament, the same with Pharaoh, he had a role to play, just like all of us do. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like I've talked too much during this episode, and now the time has flown again. We're almost a half hour in. I call it today's Twitter attention spans, right? To keep the shows down the 30 minutes because they get too long, nobody will watch or listen. It's like, just give me the headline, even though a headline can be misleading, or the TikTok soundbite, which also can be out of context and misleading. So back to your books, and for those viewing behind the scenes for the benefit of audio only and the transcript, I can see in her background on Zoom here the book, Not What They Expected, Chantal Deyoe.
Yes.
Please tell us a little bit, without too many spoilers, about that book specifically and where to buy it.
Sure. So that is the second book in my series. The first one you can see on the little shelf over there. It's called Right Where They Belong.
And for those viewing the video, there's a QR code, right?
Yes.
Everybody loves those these days. You can scan that if you're watching on video. I'm sorry, go on.
That's okay. No problem at all. So these are, they are cozy, small town romance by category, but they're not fluff. And they're not
Colleen Hoover softcore porn.
No, absolutely not. They are not that, and they are not saccharine sweet either. They have real people and real problems and real difficulties, especially book 2. The characters in there are dealing with some pretty difficult things. But yeah, these are available on Amazon, and you can also buy them on bookshop.org. So if you go to my website, you take my name, and have to spell it out for the people who are just listening.
Yeah, as CHANTALDEYOE.com. Okay, yeah. I'm writing that down. Yeah. And of course, in video post edit, I'll put that on the screen for those behind the scenes. But again, for those audio or benefit of this transcript, it's Chantal, CHANTAL, DEYOE.com.
Exactly. And you'll find the links there to purchase those books. And as always, I love to have conversations with people and love to get the feedback through, feedback on Amazon or Goodreads or anything like that. So yeah, reach out, and I hope you'll read. And I hope maybe you'll hand the book to a friend and say, I think you would like this, because that's what we're after, is to open up conversations with our friends that are on the fence about faith.
Absolutely. And again, the way OCD is just one of my umpteen million health issues. And it's Chantal has nothing to do with, but somehow, some way, Jerry Lee Lewis, Chantilly laced and a pretty face and a blah, popped into my head. Why in the world did that pop into my head?
My uncle, when I was a little girl, he would always sing that to me. So
so it's not abnormal. I'm not just the weird one.
Nope, not at all. It's a good memory for me. Good memory.
I'm glad it is, because I mean, there's sexual implications in that which generally wouldn't want to go to. It's like, there was a movie. I don't remember. God, the guy that was in Brothers was in the Stranger Than Fiction, was in a movie with the woman from Legally Blonde. I can't think of either of their names right now, but one of the things in that movie was he, as the father and the daughter, sang a very sexual innuendo implication song. Do you know what one I'm talking? It was on Amazon Prime. I can't think of the title of the movie either, but
vaguely. But you have to allow for a different
context,
a different understanding, an innocent use of that, because that was, there's some other phrases that different people use, and when you're little, you understand them one way. It's kind of like cartoons. You watch cartoons as a child and you understand them on one level, and you get to be an adult and you realize there was a whole lot of stuff in there for the mom and dad.
My God, I can't believe that's in there. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, it has to be understood that way.
Yeah, it's why as an adult I still love to go to the theater to see kids animated movies. There's a lot of stuff in there for adults that go over the
Absolutely.
kids' heads.
Yeah.
So the parents don't get bored while in the movie.
Exactly.
Like I loved Barbie, the
Oh.
movie. People hate on that movie, and because they think it's an ultra woke movie, an ultra fifth wave feminism movie, and it's not. It's really well balanced. There's great jokes left and right. Barbie, pregnant Barbie, Midge, I think, is in the movie. If it were a woke leftist film, they wouldn't be promoting pro-life Barbie in it. My favorite scene is Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
is because he's in that movie too. That's who I was thinking of.
Will Ferrell, right.
The name of the Amazon movie is You Are Cordially Invited. So Will Ferrell, You Are Cordially Invited with, I still can't think of, I could picture her, but I can't think of her name, who was illegally.
Is it Reese?
Reese Witherspoon. There we go. Thank you. But now I lost my train of thought again. But yeah, the
Barbie.
Will Ferrell and Barbie. Yeah, my favorite scene, favorite line is poking fun at left wokeism.
Oh.
He is the CEO. He's there with the rest of his board, all males, and says with a straight face, "We're a feminist company. We have a woman janitor."
Right.
I almost fell out of the chair in the theater when they said that. It's a great film if people would give it a chance, but we all sometimes have preconceived notions. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. And different tastes and different things like that, but we tend to bash what we don't like or don't understand, so. We need to stop doing that, don't we?
Yeah. You brought us back full circle, and right, Matthew 7, judge not lest ye be judged, is really condemn not lest ye be condemned, because there's more to Matthew 7 than just the first 7. And there's a dozen or more other scriptures that tell us we are to judge, but we are to judge righteously, biblically, not hypocritically, hold ourselves to the same set of standards as we do others. And indeed, we need to realize if we don't really know what's going on, should we be criticizing it until we actually find out what's going on? It's okay to be critical if you have an honest opinion, but you have facts on your, again, back to emotional hysterical snowflakes, right? People reacting on the right emotionally to what they perceive the Barbie movie is versus what it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, again, my OCD and all these rabbit holes that opened up, I am going to wrap us up, and you already gave what usually is the last question. Where could people find you? It's ChantalDeyoe.com. Again, in post, I'll put it on the screen. Thank you for dropping by, Chantal. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, and the Zoom issues, knock on wood, seem to have cleared up. We only had them at the beginning. With that, I'm going to hit stop real quick before I jinxed us. They're going to act up again. So I need to hit stop and save this before I lose it. Thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
Every day all the earth. God bless Joseph for all you do. Stand strong and God bless you.